Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Catalina MIHU, and I'm the managing editor of the European Baker and Biscuit magazine. Our magazine celebrated 25 years last year. I'm missing the presentation. There we go. You have a brief presentation of our magazine on your screen. We're returning to Europain this year to look into manufacturing processes and how they are revolutionized by technology innovations. For this reason, we've called our session today the Bakery Revolution. And to do that, we've asked help from two leading industry experts from Tromp and Mecatherm. Our first speaker is Mr. Pieter Dornbos. He is a well-known figure in the industry, and he's the product sales director with the Tromp group. In his presentation, he will focus on technology innovation dedicated for manufacturing of cakes. Also with us today is Mr. Cyril MUNSCH from Mecatherm, who will present innovations that are changing the automated production of bread lines. He is a well-known figure in the industry also, and he has been with Mecatherm since 1990. Mr. Dornbos will start.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Pieter Dornbos. As Catalina told, working for more than 30 years in the bakery industry. The last 10 years at Tromp Group. Today I would guide you through the whole process of the muffin industry. Where did we start, where are we today, and where will we be tomorrow? Before I do that, I'll give you a brief introduction on the Tromp Group. Tromp Group is a company existing of 3 companies. Tromp is doing the dough and batter handling. Vanderpool is specialized on waffle lines. And Den Boer is doing baking, ovens, and handling equipment. As you see, companies who exist already over 100 years. Youngest company is basically Tromp. Since 2014, the Tromp Group is part of the Markel Food Group, a US-based company. In that company, there is in totally 4 companies. First, AMF. AMF is doing turnkey lines for the bread, bun, and soft roll industry. Reading, also a US-based company, specialized in crackers, pretzels, cookies, and baked snacks. Solburn is the youngest company. They are specialized in egg roll folding, burrito folding, and can fill machines. And of course, the Tromp Group, where I am directly part of. In the Tromp Group, we are focused on 5 product groups: sheeted bread, waffle and fun cakes, pastry lines, pizza lines, and the cake and pie lines. On this last product line, I will guide you through today. So, if we look at the bakery revolution, where did it all start? Let's say 50 years ago, industrial bakers were making muffins. How they were doing it? They had single row depositors, filling baking trays, placing the baking trays into tunnel ovens and baking them. So it was a really manual process where only a small part of the whole process was automated. The next step was more the semi-automatic cake production. Show you a short video of a muffin depositor. This is a multi-row depositor, and the next step in the bakery revolution was that bakers were starting to produce more products. They were going over the 10,000 pieces per hour, and therefore they needed this automation. So what were they doing? multiple rows depositors from the depositor in an automatic way. The trays were going to the baking oven. So here you see just an example of a piston depositor which we are using. Here it's a 4-row. Of course, this can go up to 10 rows across or whatever size a customer is desiring. During all these years, every year our customers are looking for more and more automation in their complete process. So next to an automatic loading, they were asking for automatic unloading. Then they wanted to cool the products in an automatic way. And that was going step by step further. So here we were still ending at a maximum of, let's say, 20,000 muffins per hour. Then, in the last 10 years, the real big steps were made. And this is a video I'm going to show you of a line, several of these lines we have realized in the last years. And the big difference is that here we are going really for the higher capacities. This line we're showing you now is a line who's producing 70,000 muffins per hour, where we have a fully automated line. So that means from the tray handling, automatic paper cup dispensing, batter depositing, baking, cooling, and depanning. Multiple row depositors. Here we see the automatic paper cup dispensing. These lines are fully automated. What we see next to the high capacity, it's also that customers are looking for a variety in their production. So muffins with double colors, muffins with decoration on top, nuts, crumbs, etc. Here we see the oven loading, so ovens of more than 3 meters wide, 50 meters long, direct fired in combination with convection in order to have a very nice even bake with as an end result a very tasty, soft product. Here we see the cooling of the products in a paternoster tray system. After the cooling, customers have the option to choose also for injecting the muffins after the baking. So we see here that people are desiring more, our customers are asking more variety, asking higher capacities. Is it ending already? No. Today the biggest lines are 70,000 products per hour. But customers are asking us already for lines up to 200,000 muffins per hour. So then you talk about dedicated cake production factories. They are making only one product. Here we see an inline washing machine, because that is also more and more important. Allergens, hygiene of the production. So inline washing machines, tray storage systems, if they have different product sizes and shapes, everything automatically. Here we see a part, basically our part is ending here, but just to show you the complete process, packaging part, this customer is doing a individual packaging of the products. So it's always interesting to see how that process goes as well. Metal detectors in line, individual packaging, dual packaging. You need to automate in order to be very cost effective. That's the only way these big companies can do that. So that's where we are standing today, and where will we be in the future? Now, there's of course a lot of discussions about the industry 4.0. Big discussion also in our company. How can we help our customers with this? So we are studying this, all of course in the eyes that our customers are looking more and more to the overall equipment effectiveness, combining all kind of data, see how we can help our customers in being more and more effective on their final product effectiveness. This is really, we are in the bakery industry. I think my colleague will say the same. Bakery industry is not the most, it's a little bit conservative industry, so we are not so far as maybe other, the automotive industry, but we are working on it. What we have today, it's energy management on our ovens. We can provide customers with that already. Next to that, during the IBA in September this year, we will have on our booth, we have space and time reserved for our service department, where we are going to present virtual reality. Virtual reality, what does that mean? We just want to be able that our customers with their cameras can look at their machines, and we from a distance we can help them servicing their equipment. So that is the next step in the bakery revolution.
Please hold on to the questions until after Mr. MUNSCH also presents.
Sorry.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Cyril MUNSCH. I'm the sales director for Mecatherm. I've been in the bakery business for 27-something years. I stopped counting. I'm here to try to show you our new visual identity, which is the official launch at the Europain show. So we have reviewed our logo, and we have a small video explaining you who we are. So basically, Mecatherm has an installed base of more than 780 production lines. We are present on 5 continents. We are in more than 63 countries, and we have reworked our identity. We are supplier of equipment, baking systems, and production lines. We'll come more in details. 400 people in the company. We are a growing company. We want to be closer to our customer, and we have developed our vision and mission that we are going to share with you. Audaciousness, team spirit, exemplarity, and some more. Our vision, the reference productions provider for the global bakery industry. Our mission, simplify our customers' life. So you see the new logo with the blue for the cold, the red for the heat, and the colors representing France, the French flag. As I said, we are a supplier of fully automatic systems, we are a supplier of baking systems, and we are a supplier of equipment. So you have a view of a fully automatic line. This is the case in bread, where we supply a full automatic line, which means that we start from A, which is the divider, and we stop at the depanner. So on the screen that you see the makeup, you see the proofing system, you see the scoring, you see the oven, you see the cooler, you see the freezer. So it's a fully automatic line where we can supply everything. So that's when we say we are a supplier of production lines. We also supply baking systems, which is the case where we don't do bread only, but other type of products. We have split our organization in 2 separate segments. One is bread. In the bread family, you have the crusty bread, you have the soft bread, and you have the flat bread. And the other division, where we are more a baking system supplier, is more for sweet goods. So you see here the range of products that we consider as bread. You see the range of product that we consider as soft product. And we can even do some equipment, individual equipment, like baking ovens for food, where you can see that we bake, for instance, flan or even vegetables. Innovations, we are here to talk about innovation. So same thing, we took the Europain show to launch the Baguette Factory. So what is the Baguette Factory? It's a turnkey line and a turnkey solution dedicated to the African market. So we have developed a complete package that can go from the minimum is the production line. We also supply the utilities to the production line, and we can even go one step further, which is to supply the turnkey factory with the wall, ceiling, and floor. And of course, starting a factory is not only equipment and building, but you also need to train the people, to be close to the people, to help them develop their recipe, and also to make sure that you have the right labor force to make sure that you produce every day the same high-quality product. This is one trend. The other trend we are working on is what we call the Flexi Line. So as the name of the Flexi Line says it, it's quite a flexible line because we see that we have two major trends. One is mass-producing products. We are there with lines that can process from 700 kilos up to 5 tons of dough per hour. And there is another trend, which is to work more and more with flexible lines. And when we say flexibility, it's not only making one product that is cut in different, to do different products, but it's more being able to do, for instance, soft product as well as crusty product on the same line. So what does it take to build a flexi line? You build the flexibility at different stages. The first one is at the makeup. So in that case, we can either integrate a very flexible makeup, or we can feed the line with multiple makeup, because as you know, a croissant and a bread makeup are not built the same way. So you build the flexibility at the makeup, then you also need to have the flexibility on the production line. So you need a flexible production line, and the main break so far was to find an oven that could accept the flexibility of baking a baguette, a croissant, or even a rusk product. So we have in our range of products such an oven. And then the last area where you need to find the flexibility is the baking supports or proofing supports, where we have developed a quite easy way to remove supports and change them when you go from one product to the other one. So flexibility, but also automation, because there is one thing that everybody is looking for. This is consistency in the product. So those flexible lines have also been dictated, by the market request for product. We see three main trends. One is healthy product, like gluten-free, for instance, or enriched product in fiber. One is premium product. So those products are products with more added value, and we see that we go more and more in favor of natural product. And finally, the last trend that we see is convenient product. So people are looking for product on the go, snackings, individual portions, and all those trends are pushing us as equipment suppliers to build flexibility into the production line to be able to cover all of those products areas. So here we see an example of a flexi line. For the one that know a layout, you can see that we have a tray buffer. You see that we have an oven that can accept different size of trays. So this is what the flexible line looks like. Just show you a small video. We are on the bottom side, you see the flexibility brought by the support changing. So you see a transstocker, which is removing one kind of pans and putting a different kind. And on the top video, you can see all the products that are coming out of a same production line. So we had hot dogs. You see toast bread or thin bread at the moment. You see round products that are seeded. You see brioche products that are sweet products. And you see some crusty products. So baking a crusty product, baking a soft and pastry product could look similar, but we are not looking at the same thing. In one area, we are looking at the crustiness. In the other area, we are looking at a product that is very even. And as you know, the more sugar you put in a product, the more coloration of the product you have. So you need to have a very, very accurate baking oven.
If there are any questions, I would like to start then. Regarding cake lines, because we handle with such high capacity of production, but also we need to have product diversity. How can different types of decorations be accomplished on the same line?
Now, if we talk about decoration on the cakes, we have our seeding systems where we work with different hoppers, so we can change in a couple of minutes from one seeding to the other. So that is all built for a quick changeover time in order to be flexible anyhow.
Thank you. My next question is for you, and because we were talking about automation, and I would like to know more about how can we accurately control the baking curve?
So as I started explaining, you have different baking curve, whether you are looking at a crusty product where you need steam in the oven, compared to a soft product where steam might not be needed. What we have chosen is to work with a modular system where in an oven you have several baking zones, but not only several baking zones, but each zone has its own burner, which means that you can exactly control the baking temperature that you are willing to achieve. And the second thing which makes our oven unique on the market is not only you can control the baking curve and the baking time, but you can also choose by the modularity how you are going to generate and transmit the heat to the product. So depending on the product, you can generate the heat exchange by convection, you can generate it just by radiant heat, or you can generate it by a combination of both. So if we take, that seems theoretical, if we take an example, if you have a product which contains yeast, very often at the beginning of the bake, you want a very quiet, non-turbulent atmosphere so that you can leave the time to the product to develop and expand. So in that situation, the first zone of the oven will be used as a very quiet area. Then the second part of the baking consists in getting the temperature at the core of the product. So there we can add a little bit of convection, which is the best way to exchange the heat. And the last zone of the baking is where we create either the crust in a crusty product or the color on a soft product. And then you can combine radiant heat as well as convection heat. So this is an example of a raised product. Now we are talking flexibility. If the same oven is used to bake, for instance, toast bread with lids, in that case, the first zone of the oven, you want to transmit as much energy as possible to the product, because the first goal is to heat up the tins, and then in the second area, you are going to start baking the product. So the same oven can be used in different baking profiles, and mainly how are we generating the heat to respect the product.
Thank you. My next question is for you regarding a very important aspect in the functioning of production lines, which is hygiene. How is this accomplished for cake lines?
Now, hygiene, of course, that's more and more important. Like I just told you in the presentation already, we are building more and more the lines with inline washing machines for the trays. Next to that, we spend a lot of time and energy in continuous improving our depositors, where if we have a changeover on the batter, that we can very quickly dismantle the complete depositors where they will be cleaned and quickly be back in the operation again. The same is counting for the ovens. You see more and more customers who are asking that also the ovens are inside partly stainless steel, especially in the first part. So there they can clean as well. Big access ports, so you can at least have the dry cleaning in the oven. So that is all things, it's a continuous process of improving our equipment so that we are building them according to the last hygienical request from our customers.
Thank you. One more question regarding the production of bread, because we have production lines that could accommodate the manufacturing of different types of dough with different textures. So you needed lines that's versatile to be able to do that. How is this accomplished by Mecatherm?
Same thing, and I think I already answered more or less to the questions. One of the key parts is the makeup area, because this is where you will be able to use one dough or another dough. As I explained, a single machine making everything does not exist yet. So this is where we will multiply the front end, because when you do a croissant, you need a sheeting line with folding and butter injection and resting. When you do a bread, you need more a molder, where you just need divider, resting and stretching. So at the front end, and then it's just a matter of having modular equipment, because if you work with a rested dough, for instance, you might need 30 to 60 minutes proof time. On the other hand, if you work with a direct dough, you might want to have 90 minutes to 2 hours or even more. So you need to build the flexibility by the modularity to be able to change the capacity of the machines in order to adapt to the process. And then the main point is the oven, where you need to adapt the baking profile depending on the type of product you're making, crusty, soft, flat product, where you can go with high temperature oven, you can go with steam, no steam. So same thing, the modularity is the key words to be able to do the flexibility.
Thank you. Do we have any questions? Please.
Bonjour. Ce qui m'inquiète dans ce type de fabrication, c'est que reste-t-il à la fin pour l'organisme humain en valeur nutritive? Car que quand un produit a été beaucoup transformé, beaucoup trituré, automatiquement on perd des vitamines, des minéraux, mais surtout les molécules, est-ce qu'elles sont encore reconnaissables par l'organisme humain, de façon à ce qu'il puisse profiter de tous les bienfaits de ce qu'on doit manger? Parce qu'aujourd'hui c'est un vrai problème, on le voit en Europe et aux États-Unis pour l'obésité, tout ça. Est-ce que vous avez vu ce côté-là qui est très important pour le consommateur, puisque c'est sa santé qui est en jeu? Vous voulez que je répète? Non,
non, c'est bon. J'attendais juste que le micro s'arrête. Alors écoutez, la question est évidemment pertinente. Aujourd'hui, quand on montrait les tendances produits, on voyait qu'une des tendances, c'est le côté santé. Et nous sommes aujourd'hui en mesure de travailler en industriel, donc en production de masse, des pâtes qui sont très naturelles. Si on parle de pain, par exemple, on va avoir des pâtes qui ne vont contenir de la farine, de l'eau, de la levure et du sel. Et c'est justement, on a beaucoup travaillé sur les machines pour pouvoir s'affranchir de tout ce qui est améliorant ou booster qui était nécessaire. Et aujourd'hui, on arrive en industriel à faire à passer des pâtes au travers de lignes que le boulanger artisan ne peut même pas travailler à la main. Donc je pense qu'on respecte énormément le produit et que le côté santé peut être adressé même en automatique.
Did that answer your question? Any other questions? If there are no more questions, thank you very much again for being with us today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.